The Campeonato Nacional de Liga de Segunda División, commercially known as La Liga Smart Bank for sponsorship reasons, is the men's second professional association football division of the Spanish Football League system. Administrated by the Liga Nacional de Futbol Profesional, it is contested by 22 teams, with the top 2 teams plus the winner of a playoff promoted to La Liga and replaced by the 3 lowest placed teams in that division. Competition format. The competition format follows the usual double round-robin format. During the course of a season, which lasts from August to May, each club plays every other club twice, once at home and once away, for 38 matches. Teams receive 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, and no points for a loss. Teams are ranked by total points, with the highest ranked club crowned champion at the end of the season. Promotion and relegation. A system of promotion and relegation exists between the Primera Division and the Segunda Division. The 3 lowest placed teams in La Liga are relegated to the Segunda Division, and the top 2 teams from the Segunda Division promoted to La Liga, with an additional club promoted after a series of playoffs involving the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th placed clubs. Below is a complete record of how many teams played in each season throughout the league's history. Tiebreaker rules. If points are equal between 2 or more clubs, the rules are: if all clubs involved have played each other twice. If the tie is between 2 clubs, then the tie is broken using the head-to-head goal difference for those clubs. If the tie is between more than 2 clubs, then the tie is broken using the games the clubs have played against each other. A. Head-to-head points. B. Head-to-head goal difference. If 2-legged games between all clubs involved have not been played, or the tie is not broken by the rules above, it is broken using A. Total goal difference. B. Total goals scored. If the tie is still not broken, the winner will be determined by fair play scales. These are: yellow card, 1 point. Doubled yellow card / ejection, 2 points. Direct red card, 3 points. Suspension or disqualification of coach, executive or other club personnel, 5 points. Misconduct of the supporters, mild 5 points, serious 6 points, very serious 7 points. Stadium closure, 10 points. If the competition committee removes a penalty, the points are also removed. If the tie is still not broken, it will be resolved with a tie-break match in a neutral stadium. Qualification for European competitions. Current criteria. History. Foundation. In April 1928, José María Aca, a director at Getco, first proposed the idea of a national league in Spain. After much debate about the size of the league and who would take part, the Real Federación Española de Fútbol eventually agreed on the 10 teams who would form the first Primera Division in 1929. Barcelona, Real Madrid, Athletic Club, Real Sociedad, Getco, and Real Union were all selected as previous winners of the Copa del Rey. Atlético Madrid, Español, and Europa qualified as Copa del Rey runners-up, and Racing de Santander qualified through a knockout competition. Only 3 of the founding clubs have never been relegated from the Primera Division. 1930s, Athletic Club prominence. Although Barcelona won the very first Liga in 1929 and Real Madrid won their first titles in 1932 and 1933, it was Athletic Club that set the early pace, winning Primera Division in 1930, 1931, 1934 and 1936. They were also runners-up in 1932 and 1933. In 1935, Real Betis, then known as Betis Balompié, won their only title to date. Primera Division was suspended during the Spanish Civil War. In 1937, the teams in the Republican area of Spain, with the notable exception of the two Madrid clubs, competed in the Mediterranean League and Barcelona emerged as champions. 70 years later, on September 28, 2007, Barcelona requested the Royal Spanish Football Federation to recognize that title as a Liga title. This action was taken after RFEF was asked to recognize Levante FC's Copa de la España Libre win as equivalent to Copa del Rey trophy. Nevertheless, the governing body of Spanish football has not made an outright decision yet. 1940s, Atlético Madrid, Barcelona, and Valencia emerge. When the Primera Division resumed after the Spanish Civil War, it was Atlético Aviation, Valencia, and FC Barcelona that emerged as the strongest clubs. Atlético were only awarded a place during the 1939-40 season as a replacement for Real Oviedo, whose ground had been damaged during the war. The club subsequently won its first Liga title and retained it in 1941. While other clubs lost players to exile, execution, and as casualties of the war, the Atlético team was reinforced by a merger. The young, pre-war squad of Valencia had also remained intact and in the post-war years matured into champions, gaining 3 Liga titles in 1942, 1944, and 1947. They were also runners-up in 1948 and 1949. Sevilla also enjoyed a brief golden era, finishing as runners-up in 1940 and 1942 before winning their only title to date in 1946. Meanwhile, on the other side of Spain, FC Barcelona began to emerge as a force under the legendary Josep Samitier. A Spanish footballer for both Barcelona and Real Madrid, Samitier cemented his legacy with Barcelona. During his playing career with them, he scored 333 goals, won the inaugural La Liga title and 5 Copa del Rey. In 1944, Samitier returned to Barcelona as a coach and guided them in winning their second La Liga title in 1945. Under Samitier and legendary players César Rodríguez, Josep Escola, Estanislao Bazora and Mariano Gonzalvo, Barcelona dominated La Liga in the late 1940s, winning back-to-back La Liga titles in 1948 and 1949. The 1940s proved to be a successful season for Barcelona, winning 3 La Liga titles and 1 Copa del Rey, but the 1950s proved to be a decade of dominance, not just from Barcelona, but from Real Madrid. 1950s, Real Madrid dominate La Liga, 12 titles in 15 years. The 1950s also saw the beginning of the Real Madrid dominance. During the 1930s, 1940s, and 1950s, there were strict limits imposed on foreign players. Real Madrid continued to win until the 60s, making it 12 titles in 15 years. In most cases, clubs could have only 3 foreign players in their squads, meaning that at least 8 local players had to play in every game. During the 1950s, however, these rules were circumvented by Real Madrid, who naturalized Alfredo Di Stefano and Ferenc Puskás. Di Stefano, Puskás, Raymond Kopa and Francisco Gento formed the nucleus of the Real Madrid team that dominated the second half of the 1950s. Real Madrid won their third La Liga in 1954, their first since 1933, and retained their title in 1955. In 1956, Athletic Club won their 6th La Liga title, but Real Madrid won La Liga again in 1957 and 1958. In addition to their domestic success, Real Madrid dominated the newly created European Cup, sweeping the first 5 editions and assuming the title of the world's best football club. All in all, Barcelona and Real Madrid won 4 La Liga titles each in the 50s, with Atlético Madrid winning 2 Liga and Athletic Club winning 1 during this decade. Although Atlético Madrid, previously known as Atlético Aviation, were champions in 1950 and 1951 under Catenaccio mastermind Helenio Herrera, the 1950s continued the success FC Barcelona had during the late 1940s after they had won back-to-back La Liga titles. During this decade, Barcelona's first golden era emerged. Under coach Ferdinand Doc, FC Barcelona won back-to-back doubles, winning La Liga and Copa del Rey in 1952 and 1953. In 1952, FC Barcelona made history yet again by winning 5 distinctive trophies in 1 year. This team, composed of Laszlo Kubala, Mariano Gonçalves, Cesar Rodriguez, and Joan Segura, won La Liga, Copa del Rey, Copa Eva Duarte, Latin Cup, and Copa Martini and Rossi. Their success in winning 5 trophies in 1 year earned them the name El Equipo de les Cinco Copes, or the team of the 5 cups. In the latter parts of the 1950s, coached by Helenio Herrera and featuring Luis Suarez, Barcelona won yet again their third set of back-to-back La Liga, winning them in 1959 and 1960. In 1959, FC Barcelona also won another double of La Liga/Copa del Rey, conquering 3 doubles in the 1950s. 1960s-1970s, Real Madrid superiority. Real Madrid dominated La Liga between 1960 and 1980, being crowned champions 14 times. Real Madrid won 5 La Liga titles in a row from 1961 to 1965, as well as winning 3 doubles between 1960 and 1980. During the 1960s and 1970s, only Atletico Madrid offered Real Madrid any serious challenge. Atletico Madrid were crowned La Liga champions 4 times in 1966, 1970, 1973, and 1977. Atletico Madrid also finished second place in 1961, 1963, and 1965. In 1971, Valencia won their 4th La Liga title in 1971 under Alfredo Di Stefano, and the Johan Cruyff-inspired Barcelona won their 9th La Liga in 1974. 1980s, Real Madrid dominance continues. Real Madrid's monopoly in La Liga was interrupted significantly in the 1980s. Although Real Madrid won another 5 La Liga titles in a row from 1986 to 1990 under the brilliance of Emilio Butragueño and Hugo Sanchez, the Basque clubs of Real Sociedad and Athletic Club also dominated the 1980s. Real Sociedad won back-to-back La Liga titles in 1981 and 1982, after leaving Real Madrid runner-up both times. Their title wins were followed by fellow Basque club Athletic Club, who won back-to-back titles in 1983 and 1984. With Athletic Club winning their 5th La Liga and Copa del Rey double in 1984. Barcelona won their 10th La Liga title in 1985 under coach Terry Venables, their first La Liga win since 1974. 1990s, Barcelona's dream team. Johan Cruyff returned to Barcelona as manager in 1988, and assembled the legendary dream team. When Cruyff took hold of this Barcelona side, they had won only 2 La Liga titles in the past 20 years. Cruyff decided to build a team composed of international stars and La Masia graduates in order to restore Barcelona to their former glorious days. This team was formed by international stars Romario, Michael Laudrup, Hristo Stoichkov, and Ronald Koeman. Cruyff's dream team also consisted of La Masia graduates Pep Guardiola, Albert Ferrer, and Guillermo Amor, as well as Spaniard Andoni Zubizarreta. Johan Cruyff changed the way modern football was played, and incorporated the principles of total football into this team. The success of possession-based football was revolutionary, and Cruyff's team won their first European Cup in 1992 and 4 consecutive La Liga titles between 1991 and 1994. In total, Cruyff won 11 trophies in 8 years, making him the most successful manager in Barcelona's history until the record was broken by his protégé Pep Guardiola 2 decades later. Barcelona's run ended with Real Madrid winning La Liga in 1995. Atletico Madrid won their 9th La Liga title in 1996, as well as their only Liga/Copa del Rey double, before Real Madrid added another league title to their cabinet in 1997. After the success of Cruyff, another Dutchman Ajax manager, Louis van Gaal arrived at the Camp Nou, and with the talents of Luis Figo, Luis Enrique, and Rivaldo, Barcelona won the La Liga title in 1998 and 1999, including their 4th double of Liga and Copa del Rey in 1998. All in all, Barcelona won 6 La Liga titles in the 1990s. 2000s, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Valencia's re-emergence. The 21st century continued success FC Barcelona had in the 1990s under Johan Cruyff, dominating La Liga, although there they saw a league drought at the beginning of the new millennium, not winning the title until 2005, under the management of Frank Rijkaard. Although Real Madrid have been prominent, Barcelona have created a hegemony in Spain not seen since the Real Madrid of the 1960s-70s. Since the start of the new century, Barcelona have won 10 La Ligas, including 2 trebles and 4 doubles. This new century, however, has also seen new challengers being crowned champions. Between 1999-2000 and 2004, Deportivo La Coruña finished in the top 3 on 5 occasions, a better record than either Real Madrid or Barcelona, and in 2000, under Javier Irureta, Deportivo became the 9th team to be crowned champions. Valencia were one of the strongest teams in Europe in the early to mid-2000s. They were crowned La Liga champions in 2002 and 2004 under Rafael Benitez, whilst also being runners-up in the UEFA Champions League in 2000 and 2001 under Hector Cuper, and winning the UEFA Cup in 2004 and the Copa del Rey in 1999. Real Madrid won their first Liga titles of the century in 2001 and 2003. With world-class players like Raúl, Ruud van Nistelrooy and Gonzalo Higuaín, Real Madrid won back-to-back La Liga titles in 2006-07 and 2007-08. FC Barcelona won their first title of the new century after Real Madrid and Valencia had shared the last 4 titles under the brilliance of Ronaldinho and Samuel Eto'o in the 2004-05 season. Barcelona retained the title to make it back-to-back wins in the 2005-06 season. 2010s, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Atletico. In 2009-10, Real Madrid achieved a record 96 points but still finished behind Barcelona, who amassed 99 points. Barcelona won a 3rd straight La Liga title in the 2010-11 season with 96 points to Real's 92, but Real Madrid ended their winning streak in the 2011-12 season under the management of José Mourinho and with the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, Angel Di Maria, Mesut Ozil and Karim Benzema. Madrid won their 32nd La Liga title with a record 100 points, a record 121 goals scored and a record plus 89 goal difference. The following year, in the 2012-13 season, Barcelona won yet another La Liga title under coach Tito Vilanova, replicating the 100 points record Real Madrid achieved the previous year. Atletico Madrid, under the management of Diego Simeone, won their 10th La Liga title in 2013-14, their first since 1996. They became the first team since Valencia in 2004 to win La Liga and break Barcelona and Real Madrid's dominion over the league. In the 2014-15 season, under the trio of Messi, Neymar, and Suarez nicknamed MSN, Barcelona made history by becoming the first team to achieve a 2nd treble, and winning a 6th Liga/Copa del Rey double. Barcelona continued their dominance, and in the 2015-16 season they won a back-to-back Liga/Copa del Rey double, something that had not been achieved since the 1950s. Real Madrid brought back the La Liga title under the management of Zinedine Zidane in 2016-17, but Barcelona won the title again in the 2017-18 season, as well as winning their 8th double, for 7 La Liga titles in 10 years. Barcelona retained the title yet again and won their 26th La Liga title in the 2018-19 season, for 8 La Liga titles in 11 years. Real Madrid reclaimed the title in 2019-20, winning the season that was severely disrupted by the COVID-19 pandemic. 2020s, present. The 2020-21 season started on September 12. The teams participating in La Liga 2020-21 are Athletic Club de Bilbao, Atlético de Madrid, Barcelona, Betis, Cádiz, Eibar, Getafe, Huesca, Levante, Osasuna, Real Madrid, Real Sociedad, Sevilla, Valencia, Valladolid, Villarreal, Elche, Alaves, Eibar, and Celta Vigo. The teams joining the Primera Division, coming from Segunda are Cádiz, Elche, and Huesca. Atlético Madrid won the 2020-21 season with Real Madrid as runners-up. In August 2021, La Liga clubs approved a €2.7 billion deal to sell 10% of the league to CVC Capital Partners. The 2021-22 season was won by Real Madrid with 4 games to spare. Barcelona ended up second after improving in the second half of the season. Clubs. 20 teams contest the league in its current season, including the top 17 sides from the 2020-21 season and 3 promoted from the 2020-21 Segunda Division. Espanyol and Mallorca were promoted directly, and Rayo Vallecano won the promotion playoff. La Liga clubs in Europe. The Primera Division is currently second in the UEFA rankings of European leagues based on their performances in European competitions over a 5-year period, behind England's Premier League, but ahead of Italy's Serie A and Germany's Bundesliga. Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Atlético Madrid have been in the top 10 most successful clubs in European football in terms of total European trophies. These 3 clubs, along with Sevilla and Valencia, are the only Spanish clubs to have won 5 or more international trophies. Deportivo La Coruña are the joint 5th most participating Spanish team in the Champions League with Sevilla after Real Madrid, Barcelona, Valencia, and Atlético Madrid with 5 Champions League appearances in a row, including a semi-finals appearance in 2003-04. During the 2005-06 European season, La Liga became the first league to have its clubs win both the Champions League and UEFA Cup since 1997, as Barcelona won the UEFA Champions League and Sevilla won the UEFA Cup. This feat was repeated 4 times in 5 seasons. During the 2013-14 season, Real Madrid won their 10th Champions League title and Sevilla won their 3rd Europa League. During the 2014-15 season, Barcelona won their 5th Champions League title and Sevilla won their 4th Europa League. During the 2015-16 season, Real Madrid won their 11th Champions League title and Sevilla won their 5th Europa League. And during the 2017-18 season, Real Madrid won their 13th Champions League title. And Atlético Madrid won their 3rd Europa League. In 2015, La Liga became the first league to enter 5 teams in the Champions League group stage, with Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atlético Madrid, and Valencia qualifying via their league position and Sevilla qualifying by virtue of their victory in the Europa League, courtesy of a rule change. Champions. Performance by club. Performance comparison since 2010. Performance comparison of top teams since 2010. Players. Eligibility of non-EU players. In La Liga in 2020, each club is allowed 5 non-EU players but are only allowed to name 3 non-EU players in each matchday squad. Players can claim citizenship from the nation their ancestors came from. If a player does not have European ancestry, he can claim Spanish citizenship after playing in Spain for 5 years. Sometimes, this can lead to a triple citizenship situation. For example, Leo Franco, who was born in Argentina, is of Italian heritage yet can claim a Spanish passport, having played in La Liga for over 5 years. In addition, players from the ACP countries in Africa, the Caribbean, and the Pacific that are signatories to the Cotonou Agreement are not counted against non-EU quotas due to the Call-Pack ruling. Individual awards. Until the 2008-09 season, no official individual awards existed in La Liga. In the 2008-09 season, the governing body created the LFP Awards, awarded each season to individual players and coaches. The majority of these awards were discontinued after the 2015-16 season. Additional awards relating to La Liga are distributed, some not sanctioned by the Liga de Football Profesional or RFEF and therefore not regarded as official. The most notable of these are 4 awarded by Spain's largest sports paper, Marca, namely the Pichichi Trophy, awarded to the top scorer of the season, the Ricardo Zamora Trophy, for the goalkeeper with the fewest goals allowed per game, the Alfredo Di Stefano Trophy, for the player judged to be the best overall player in the division, and the Zara Trophy, for the top scorer among Spanish domestic players. Since the 2013-14 season, La Liga has also bestowed the monthly Manager of the Month and Player of the Month awards. Transfers. The first La Liga player to be involved in a transfer which broke the world record was Luis Suarez in 1961, who moved from Barcelona to Inter Milan for £152,000. 12 years later, Johan Cruyff was the first player to join a club in La Liga for a record fee of £922,000, when he moved from Ajax to Barcelona. In 1982, Barcelona again set the record by signing Diego Maradona from Boca Juniors for £5 million. Real Betis set the world record in 1998 when they signed Denilson from Sao Paulo for £21.5 million. 4 of the last 6 world transfer records have been set by Real Madrid, signing Luis Figo, Zinedine Zidane, Cristiano Ronaldo, and finally Gareth Bale, who was bought in 2013 for £85.3 million from Tottenham Hotspur. Brazilian forward Neymar was the subject of an expensive and complicated transfer arrangement when he joined Barcelona from Santos in 2013, and his outgoing transfer to Paris Saint-Germain in 2017 set a new world record fee at €222 million via his buyout clause. Barcelona soon invested a large amount of the money received from this transfer in a replacement, Ousmane Dembele, whose deal €105 million was the second most expensive ever before Philippe Coutinho's transfer to Barcelona for €142 million in January 2018. Player records. Most goals. As of October 19, 2022, boldface indicates a player still active in La Liga. Italics indicates a player still active outside La Liga. Most appearances. As of October 30, 2022. Sponsors. Sponsorship names. Liga BBVA. La Liga Santander. La Liga EA Sports. TVM Inc.